So, if you've seen the title of the video, you know what this is. I've actually had this, two of these kicking around in these boxes for a little while now, going on a couple of years. Life's just been kind of hectic. My wife got them for me for a birthday, but we were in a housing situation where I couldn't really make any use of them. There just wasn't the room. A lot of my mead making was done out of these tiny fermenters, and one at a time. I didn't have multiple brews going at once. For quite some time. It was just logistically not possible. So, these have stayed in their cardboard tombs the entire time. And I finally get to open them. So I thought I'd get some content out of it. Alright. You know, this might not be the most practical way to open them. I do like the drama of a sheath. Maybe one of these days I'll have one of those tech reviewer overhead cams pointing down. So you can get the full enjoyment of the unboxing. Okay. Comes with these unpoppable bubble wrap. There has been no greater disappointment in my life than the introduction of unpoppable bubble wrap. I mean, I probably could, but it's so much effort, it's not worth the payoff. So, inside the box, you get a box. Ooh, smaller box. Looks like has a lot of advertising on the outside, along with just general information. This is probably the box that appears on like homebrew store shelves to catch your eye. I think I just found this online and requested it. And you'll see why in a sec, hopefully. Alright, get a quick instruction page. Dead simple. Included is a vinyl tube. Allen key and some screws. Drilled bung. We'll get back to this plastic bit in a second. This is not the lid. This is a piece that holds the fermenter. We'll get a better view in a second. Actually, it comes attached to a strut that connects the two U-shaped legs together. And there should be a matching strut, yes, on this U-shaped leg. So when fully assembled, this should be pretty sturdy. Should. I will be the judge of that. We get the body of the fermenter. Which is a type of plastic. I don't know if the marketing material suckered me in on that, but it feels very sturdy, looks very clean. There's no give to it. No scent on it whatsoever, which I take as a good sign. And the bottom of it is threaded. We'll get more into that later. And by later, I mean right now. So, comes with free mason jar. And let's see, this looks like a 1 cup mason jar. And any brewer will tell you that mason jars are incredibly helpful to have around. And this is a it appears to be a ratcheted butterfly valve. The O-ring feels really sturdy on it, and when closed, this should be entirely leak-proof, although this is 6 gallons, 6.5 gallons, depending on who you ask. It was marketed as a 6.5 one, I think. I'll double check that. And the editor will roast me right here if I'm wrong about that. A threaded funnel, same size as the mason jar, same threading as the mason jar as well. I assume to attach the vinyl hose. And last but not least, the lid, with a hole in it to have the drilled bung go into, with a nice O-ring on the inside as well. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and assemble this, and then I'll use the timestamps from the video to see how long this takes. I'm just gonna use the included tools. And let you know how this goes. The struts are shaped in such a way that they will only fit in one direction. This is pretty foolproof. This won't affect the performance, but the holes that the screws go in are really nicely countersunk, so the screws do go flat against the outside of this. Doesn't really affect the functionality, it just looks nice. It's a nice touch, I appreciate that. So it's not perfectly square, once again. It only fits on a specific way, preventing you from putting it on the wrong way. It might actually be perfectly square, it just might be only designed to fit on a specific direction. Either way, it does prevent people from putting it on the unintended way. Alright, here it is, nearly fully assembled in the brewing configuration with the mason jar down here. It was pretty quick and easy to put together. The fit and finish is exactly what I would expect for this, price range. You can get this on deals every now and then. I've seen the price fluctuate a bit on homebrew sites or a local homebrew store. I got this online, well, my wife did. I don't remember exactly where. So, why did I ask for this? You might think that the mason jar wouldn't be as much help in mead making as in beer brewing. If you're very familiar with the beer brewing process, you do have an initial sediment that you can leave this open to collect down here, and then close it and replace it. That also oxygenates the yeast, especially early on in the fermentation. You don't typically have that sort of initial sediment in mead making, and you'd be absolutely correct. However, siphoning into secondary does lead to a lot more loss than I'd like, and I think this may minimize that, especially given the batch volume to, mason jar volume ratio. If the sediment all does fall out of suspension, or mostly in primary, just being able to remove it and then immediately, boom, you're in secondary fermentation. Really appeals to the lazy man in me, or more specifically the one who just doesn't really want to, go through and sanitize a whole other fermenter, get it moved into it, with this funnel attachment that does fit ever so snugly into this vinyl tubing. I can bottle from this too. That is so convenient, especially on a home brewing scale. I honestly forgot where I was. What was I talking about? Yes. The convenience of having something like this on a homebrew scale. In my opinion, just not even having used it yet. So this is pretty uninformed. This is just based on if it works as advertised. That sort of value proposition can't be beat for me. It's certainly tempting. I don't typically brew in batches this size. That's something that I'm very willing to scale up for the right brew. I'm not going to be debuting this on the channel just yet for a brew. I'm gonna stick to the 1 gallon sizes that I've been using. But I do have a couple of brews, a couple of meads that have this in mind for the channel. I might do some personal brews in these. I might scale up a couple of the channel recipes going forward. Ideally, I should be able to have both of these going at once and not have to worry about moving it into secondary and having another container ready for it. Whether that's true or not, remains to be seen. I will continue to let you know going forward. The one thing... Oh, I did figure out what this plastic piece was for. It's for when you're getting ready to bottle. You have it... You can keep your vinyl tube cinched up out of the way. Bit of convenience, really. And that's what this is. Convenience. You know, there's a lot of competition in the conical fermenter space at this price point. Higher and lower, actually, than this price point as well. There are some that do a better job if you have more equipment. If you have pumps, if you have attachments, things that handle tri-clamp fermenters pretty well. You know, more professional brewing setups. You know, you'll want to spend the money on those fermenters. But for the home brewer, especially somebody who doesn't have all that yet, maybe wants to move into it eventually, I feel like this is probably a good stepping stone. The one thing that I do wish were included at this price point, the one thing that would make this price point, and honestly, this isn't even a gripe, it's just a minor thing. If you're spending this money, throw in an airlock. You know, a little plastic one, you know. I know they're not expensive, but you might as well, if somebody's going this far. So I feel like that's just one minor thing that I would like to see. Now, obviously, this is just an unboxing. It's not a full review. I'm probably going to partially disassemble this and pack it away again until I need it. I'm not going to fully disassemble it, although it would be very easy to reassemble. That's something that I did appreciate, the ease of getting started. I didn't have to refer to the manual at all. It fits together like Legos, there's only one way things fit in, and the fit and finish, I cannot complain about for the price. I simply can't. This is Burley Mullins, and this has been Method of the Meadness. Thank you very much.